Good evening, everyone, and welcome to round 15 of season 18 in Division 2. We are here for the Monaco Grand Prix. My name is VNT Felix One, and I'll be taking you through tonight's action, joined by Jere. Hello.
Hello, I can finally be happy and say uh, that the game has worked.
Yeah, I see
I've
you just
logged
got
into
into
the
the lobby
lobby.
as we were loading in.
Yes,
Finally,
pretty much perfect timing.
yeah, just in time for the start of qualifying. You're here. And,
Yep.
well, yesterday we had an absolutely amazing race in Division 3, so hopefully more of that to see today in Division 2. We have a pretty full grid. We have a couple of no-shows actually. It was supposed to be 20, with 21 even with Yusuf not having a seat. But Lewis and Edwin didn't show up in the end. Phantom was still waiting on as well, but he is doing his usual thing of arriving home at like exactly the time the race starts and then rushing to his PlayStation. So we'll see when he turns up. He'll be I reckon he'll be here. So we should have a 19
Yeah,
car grid. Um, Maybe 20 if one of Edwin or Lewis still turns up.
yeah, the thing is that you do not want to start at the back here, but there is the good side that it's a mandatory two-stop, so it definitely creates a variation to the strategies. We could see multiple different kinds of, and let's see what brings to the top.
Yeah, I mean, talking about starting at the back, of course, Kuko, who is well involved in the championship fight, with only a handful of rounds left to go now, actually picked up a qualifying ban just in time for the Monaco Grand Prix. Exactly the same as last season, where he also had a qualifying ban in Monaco. Although he did end up going last to first in that race, somehow. So he's gonna have to try and repeat that feat today, because he was 32 points back coming into this race from his teammate Sean Wool, with Gabri only 3 points behind Sean. So it's those three fighting for the championship, and now, especially with that qualifying ban for Kuko, we're probably looking at Sean and Gabri mainly. But we'll see how it plays out over the course of the race. The first lap that's being started now is Pix, and there's already a 5-minute grid penalty for Ossi, as he's had a collision with Mihai.
Yeah, and I don't think we have a restart here, if I'm not wrong, even if you get a penalty, but it's really easy to, especially on the when we are starting the laps, it's really easy to bunch up into the hairpin, especially, and from there on get a grid penalty. So you need to be extra careful with that because those 5 grid penalties in Monaco, especially, they will make more harm than they will do good.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, you don't have a good penalty anywhere, but if there's one track you really don't want is this one. Don't think there is, anything worse for it. Of course, yesterday in Division 3 we had quite a bit of movement throughout the field, with a lot of people going into walls, going to other cars, going to the pit lane for reasons unbeknownst to me. It was a great race, and especially the last 10 laps I was shouting my head off the entire time. I've had my chance to recover, and now I can do it all over again with like double the grid. So hopefully it'll be just as exciting and just as chaotic, because that is the best
And this,
chance of entertainment at Monaco.
but there
11.6
is
the
the
first
best
lap on the board.
best side for you is that you don't have to scream alone today. Obviously, I won't scream as much because I don't want to scare my wife when she's in the living room, and me just randomly shouting will definitely scare her. So I would be shouting, but you don't have to scream alone here
I
today.
wasn't alone yesterday as well. I wasn't even the main. I was the co-commentator. I was you basically yesterday. Numi was supposed to be the one shouting, but we were both shouting.
Yeah, Monaco has that effect, especially if you think that, like, as I said, there is multiple strategy variations to this grid, so you can go. I'm expecting to see a couple undercuts for people, but what I have realized that sometimes the undercut, especially in Monaco, is just not the way to go. So I'm excited to see if anyone and if who will go long today on the first stint.
Yeah, especially on a grid like this where there's a bit more of a field spread, and there are quite a few cars here as well. We talked about this yesterday in Division 3, but there was only 11 people, so it was less of a case then, but still applicable. And now for sure, it will be a big concern if you go for the undercut, that you don't come out in any heavy traffic, because you will be a lot slower. If you think, for example, a Gabri, if he comes out somewhere in the midfield, he's going to be losing 1-2 seconds a lap, if you look at the gaps right now, to the, well, yeah, I mean, he's got a second to P4 already. P3 even, somehow.
Yeah,
Great early lap by
is...
Gabri actually. 10.1, 6/10 to P2. Of course, we're still waiting for laps from the likes of Bobodinho, from Pinky. Kuko, well, of course, he has a qualifying ban. Sean can surely go faster. But there's definitely still some time to be found for a lot of people. As Pinky's coming through the last corner, he was definitely impeded there by that Red Bull. So that has cost him a bit of lap time, unfortunately, for him. And that was Akuzin.
The good part is that Pinky's just starting a new lap, so I think he has made a mistake on early on already, as he is now... He's still not really
Oh, Flavors
pushing.
goes top! One of the championship contenders in Division 3, actually. He did 10.038, which I think is already faster than what he did yesterday in Division 3. But it puts him on provisional pole ahead of Gabri. And Bobodinho, through the last sector right now, invalidates through that last chicane. Really easy to do it now. Pinky once again is coming up behind one of the Red Bulls, and this time, once again, it's Akuzin. I think he's abandoned the lap, actually, once again.
Yeah, he hasn't used any overtake, so I think he's just trying to... Maybe there's just a little bit of practice issues right now, and he's trying to get this qualifying as his practice, basically, to get a feeling of the track.
So in terms of the weather report, it's going to be all dry. So at least, I was going to say, well, easy stuff, but it's still Monaco. Still far from easy, I would say. But I think a full wet Monaco would maybe be a step too far. We can't have everything. The world can't handle it.
Full wet Monaco is always something special, so it's definitely on my cards that I would love to see it, and especially how these drivers how can they handle the full wet Monaco. But also I'm really intrigued to see the strategies here today. As I said, there's multiple variations in Monaco, so what comes out on top?
Yeah, yesterday most people sort of went for the normal one where you do a fairly early undercut and then just do a hard to the end. We had some going a bit longer, but they ended up being a safety car, and then it's sort of split in half. We had Ewek, Pix, currently in 10th. He pitted again for a fresh sort of hards and dropped to the back of the field to go to the end. And then he was, of course, in the lead at the end. He was the only one to do that strategy. And then at the end, he had like a train of 5-6 cars behind him. And that's where all the chaos came from. People were trying to go for moves. People were getting desperate, getting impatient, trying to get around him on much faster tires with like a 1.5, 2-second lap pace advantage. And in the end, pretty much everybody just kind of fell apart in the last 10 laps, and it was complete chaos. And Maxi, who wasn't even in the lead train, ended up with the win.
Yeah, the fun part is that I don't remember the last time I've seen a safety car in Monaco, so that would definitely bring something else to this race, at least in my eyes, because I have not witnessed it in a very, very long time. I would love to see a safety car here today making chaos.
I think it's quite likely. I mean, we had, I think, one VSC yesterday and one full safety car. And also with 11 drivers. Now we have got 7 more. 8 more if Phantom still makes his way into the lobby.
There is a contact between... yep.
Deliver the grid penalty. Collision with Gabri. Hopefully it's only... That's 2 grid penalties already, though. It is... Aussie has a grid penalty, and Dylan has one. So I'm definitely thinking about a restart at this point. We've got already 2 people. And grid penalties tend to be bullshit. I didn't see that one. I didn't see the first one either, but we'll see.
Well, this was all. I don't like to say that this guy was in fault, but this was definitely on Gabri. So I'm expecting him to have possibly a quali ban for the next run.
Well,
whatever the next track is. So that should make the championship a bit more interesting again.
Kuko is currently out on track for some reason, even though he's doing qualifying ban, so I guess he's showing the outlet and back to the pit lane. There's Phantom. Mihai went top. That's another one of the Division 3 title contenders. Now, first Flavors, now Mihai. Right at the top of the field. And now Papta goes over the line. 110.093, stays in 3rd place, but he's got a lot closer to that top 2 right now. And, the usual contenders. Gabi 4th, Sean 5th, of course Kuko last, Bobodinho is down in 17th water lap, Pinky's 15th, Soli 25th, but Yeah, I'm surprised. The names we're seeing up top are not the same ones we see usually. I believe, well, for Pinky, I believe that's down to him having to race in controller as he's injured at the moment and unable to use his wheel. So that is why he is so much slower than usually, especially at Monaco. It's probably the worst track to have to switch to controller.
Yeah, and Monaco is not. I remember from the past when I was still driving with controller. I can tell you, this is not a friendly track for a controller.
Oh, and Hella High has had a crash coming out of 40. Yeah, he's somehow. How is he DNF'd like that? It's like the slowest corner on the track, almost. He's spun around, entering the tunnel somehow.
That is definitely a corner that I did not expect to see someone get.
Yeah, I mean, of all the corners you could crash at, how is he crashed there? I mean, well, you can crash there, but how do you DNF there, you know? You're going so slowly.
Maybe he spun the car and, I don't know, the wheel just...
Yeah, he must have, like,
I don't know.
gone into the wall. Gabri, 109.975, now goes top. Crucially for him.
Yeah, as you said, Kuko is serving his qualipan today in Monaco, which is probably the first worst track ever to have a qualipan. As I said, I expect Gabri to serve on the next one, which would be Suzuka. So a lot more pleasing one to do.
And another crash now from Ossi.
Oh.
And he's crashed at a more more natural place for it, the Casino Square, top of the hill. And I think he just turned in too early and shaved the right front tire off, looking at the way his car is parked in the barrier. A very easy mistake to make, and not the first or the last one to make that mistake today, I believe. Maxi jumping into 6th place there, yesterday's winner, of course. And Sean jumping into 5th, crucially for him, getting a couple of places. But still about 4/10 off Gary on pole position of his main rival. So he's going to need a little bit more on, well, his probably next and final lap in this session.
Yeah, I'm just watching the driver standings as I haven't been taking too much part, so just making sure that Kuko has a chance for the championship, but he needs a really solid result today, and that will be hard to execute from the last position.
Yeah, exactly. He was already on the back foot, and then he got a sort of qualifying ban with his driving last week. So, yeah, very much on the back foot now. But it's not over. I mean, yesterday, 2 of the 3 championship contenders DNF'd. And that I think tells you, don't write off anything too early. The same could very much happen to anyone today. It is such an easy track to make a mistake like that. Viral currently up by 2.5 tenths here, currently sitting in 10th. So this could put him next to his teammate Maxi. It's a fairly big gap though, from P8 to P5. And that is Roti V-Cubs parking the wall at the last corner at La Rascas, which would be Pinky, as Pix is still in the pit lane. And Viral then goes over the line, and that's going to be P6, 110.392. We gained a full second over the lap, a lot of time gained in the last sector.
Just a question to ask. How does the league feel about corner cutting on in-laps?
As long as you don't block anyone, I couldn't give a fuck what you do in qualifying. If you drive around with no fuel and 4 punctures, that's your thing. As soon as you block someone, I'll come to your house though.
Okay, you might want to visit a couple houses after this qualifying then. I've definitely witnessed some interesting cutting in the chicane part.
Cutting is fine, I don't really mind that.
Yeah, but what happens after that? Yeah.
Oh, as he like cut the chicane and then hit someone.
No hitting, no.
But came out right in front of someone on a quali lap or something.
Basically.
Lovely. Yusuf over the line, jumps into the top 10 there.
Yeah, I would maybe expect some maybe reports about the blocking.
Yeah, you said Gabri blocked one. He is on 4 penalty points, so only 1 of a qualifying ban, if I remember correctly. So yeah, that would be him almost certainly having a qualifying ban, as the standard penalty for blocking with us is 2 penalty points. Can be more if it's an egregious block.
No, well, he blocked it. I believe DMC is Dylan. So he blocked Dylan just before the hairpin area, and Dylan lost his front wing on Gabri's rear. So yeah, that was definitely a block. Sully is right now improving.
Oh,
Well,
immediate jinx. Literally, as you were saying, before you even completed the sentence, at least the delay on the PlayStation party.
Yeah. As I was saying the sentence, he cut the corner.
So yeah, now we've got actually Gabri starting hot lap, the only one. Oh yeah, great hot lap that. So he's doing a double out lap. So right now, not a single driver on hot lap. I think Sully is starting another one, back to back. So currently he's in P9, 110.5 to 4. Been a tough season for him, and he's abandoned the lap after turn 1 already. Great, lads. How's there 19 cars in this lobby and no one on a hot lap with 2 minutes to go? Someone give me some action.
Wants to get everyone wants the best track conditions.
Yeah, they're all gonna be in their way. Everyone's gonna block each other on the last lap, I guarantee you.
There will be
Why are people still in the pit lane with like 1 minute 55 to go? Get a move on.
Someone will crash out the first on the train, and then it will pile up everyone.
Flavors is on his lap already, so that he's good. He will get his last lap in here, and this will be crucial because everybody else is going to struggle. Gabri has a nice bit of clean track for himself now, so that's worked out nicely. Mihai could be in trouble in terms of having open road ahead of him. Sean, should be fine. Flavors down in the middle sector, made a few mistakes there, and he's abandoning the lap. He's turned the EAS to none, and might try again next lap it seems then. So no improvement on that 110.038 from him. And this is now his last chance, 1 minute to go. He's not got enough EAS, I think, to improve on the lap. Mihai, actually he's underway already. I thought he was on an out lap, but I was mistaken. Flavors isn't validated at turn 1, so it's qualifying done. Papdog, already halfway through the lap, 70,000 up in the first sector. Mihai, 1.5 tenths up after the middle sector. This could be enough for pole position then for Mihai. After yesterday's DNF in a championship-defining race for him, today could be his redemption. If he can get himself on that front row, that's half of the job done around Monaco. And that is provisional pole by 14 thousandths over Bobodinho. But of course, we still have quite a few people still left. Papdog into the pit lane, didn't improve. Invalidate, in fact. Rival invalidate over line. Up next, the Aston Martin of Yusuf starting a lap. Then the Mercedes of Bazooka starting a lap. Then the Red Bull of Akusin starting a lap.
Oh my god. There is a wild Mihai on the corner.
He's crashed on his in lap. Oh my, yeah, that's ruined Rival's lap. I see we got spooked there in the middle of the corner. That's really unfortunate. Slowly around the final corner, and he's got one of the Alpines right behind him. That would be Flavors. Slowly over the line. Does not improve. Flavors is slowed down. Up next, picks up by a 10th. Currently in 8th. This could put him ahead of Sean to 6th, which would be quite important for the championship. And that is 6th position. Sean slightly up though. Gabri's in the last corner, up by a 10th. Can he steal pole position of Mihai, or at least get the front move from Bobodinho? No, he can't. It's an improvement, but by enough. Bobodinho, very slightly up in the middle sector. Is it enough to get pole position back off Mihai? Yes, it is. What a last sector by Bobodinho. 109.489, 3 tenths gained on the lap, but he was only 10 thousandths up coming to the sector. Yusuf not improving. Sean didn't improve. Stayed in 7th. Akusin is still going around, and so is Bazooka as they go through the last sector. But those are the only two, I think, still on laps. I'm not sure if Viral is. Viral just went over the line into 8th. So now we've got Bazooka around the final corner, currently 17th, and Akusin 15th. Unless they pull an absolute blind there, this will be Bobodinho on pole. Akusin stays out of Bazooka. Bazooka 11.594, Akusin 11.129 into P12. And that's it. It is Bobodinho on pole by a good margin, 109.489. Next fastest driver, Mihai, 109.825. So 3.5 tenths separating the front row. And then it's very, very close between Mihai and Gabri, 109.868. Gabri in 3rd place. He would normally be disappointed with that, I would imagine, actually. But considering where his championship rivals are, one of them dead last with a qualifying ban, the other one in 7th, I believe it was, This is a good starting position for Garby for sure. Flavors in 4th place, and then Pub Dogs. A really interesting top 5 there. Bobbardino and Garby sort of the regulars, and then even out the picks in 6th. James we don't usually see so far up the field. Sean in 7th, then Viral, Maxi, and Sully rounds to the top 10. Yusuf in 11th, then Akusin, Pinky in 13th, Ossi with the grid penalty in 14th, so he will drop to 19th, Hella High 15th, Bazooka 16th, and Dylan with a good penalty as well. So that gives 2 places actually to Phantom and Kuko before they've even started the race.
Yeah, I mean, any position basically in Monaco is a win. So the fact that Kuko also gets 2 positions up, that should at least be a bit happiness in his head. But also the fact that there could be carnage in turn 1, so P19 could be the more safer option than P17.
I would prefer to be 19th than 17th, if I'm being honest.
Exactly. Like
even at Monaco, I'd rather, especially at Monaco actually.
Yeah, they're like, this is the point where I don't know the drivers that well. I don't know, are we expecting a pile-up in turn 1 or not?
I wouldn't say expecting a pile-up, but I wouldn't rule it out. Okay. It's like in between, you know. I think Division 3 might expect one, Division 2 you can't rule out, Division 1 you expect them to behave, you know. That's sort of the level we're dealing with here. Like, we're sort of coming up the bell curve now. Division 1 is like top of the bell curve in terms of driving standards, and after that, you know, you get to the sweats where they have ego, and they start crashing again. So this is still where you crash on like lack of ability. Division 1, they just don't crash, and then after that, they start crashing from ego. It's great.
Yeah,
that's my theory anyway.
Good.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm expecting... Okay, if we go to this route, I'm expecting at least 2 DNFs on lap 1. Just because...
Yesterday, we had 11 people starting, 5 finishing.
That is definitely something.
7 classified, but 2 of them did crash. I think with 1 lap to go even. Someone crashed from fighting for the lead on the last lap with time penalties.
Oh boy.
That was Pix actually on the old tires. He got overtaken, and the leader had a penalty, Maxi, with the 3 second, and he was just about hovering inside the range, and then he crashed at the chicane, at the Nouvelle chicane, the last lap. That's why we were shouting, basically.
This should be interesting.
So yeah, here we go, and that seems to be soft tires for Bobbardino. Yes. Interesting strategy call there. So he wants to make sure he keeps the lead of the line. Sean, Phantom, and Kuko on the same strategy as well. So Phantom and Kuko are definitely then going for an early undercut, trying to get out of the traffic and, yeah, undercutting their way into the top 10 where they will think they should be. Sean as well trying to pick up places, and Bobbardino trying to hold on to places. This will play out quite innocently then.
I want to see that P1 goes to box early because of the softs. They die here very fast. But then P2 would go very long with these mediums.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want to pit like a lap or 2 after, because then you just lose that position and have very little tire advantage. You need like a big advantage to be your take.
Yeah, and the mediums actually carry quite long in Monaco. So definitely use that pace. Whoever this Williams was, I think it was Mihai.
Yep.
So definitely carry those mediums on. When the Aston Martin boxes to hearts, you keep on going and pushing. That's what I want to see.
So here we go then. The last car lining up on the grid. 19 cars heading down towards Monaco T1. I'm sure this will go absolutely brilliantly. The 5 red lights are on. Bobbardino on the left, Mihai on the right, and it's lights out, and away we go here in Monaco. That's a good start from Bobbardino, making good use of the traction on those softs. Secures lead in turn 1, no change in the top 3. Papdog and Flavors inside each other for the first corner, and there's a couple of cars still inside each other, and that's not the Red Bulls around. That's Akusin, who had a good qualifying. Unfortunately for him, not a great race at all around the first corner, and probably damaged well. Sean and Viral ghosting through each other still. But apart from that, I think most people have gotten out clean through turn 1, and Viral is in the wall. Viral and Sean outbreaking each other through Merbo. We have got a virtual safety car deployed, I believe, and Viral is missing the entirety of his front wing.
I can tell you there is a lot of wing damage.
Sorry, full core safety car. Kuko is 9th.
Is it a full? Oh yeah, there's the safety car. It just came on my screen.
Sorry, can I repeat myself?
Again.
A man with a qualifying ban on lap 1 of the race is 9th. Phantom is up 5 places as well, he's up to 11 already. What on earth? And a full core safety car deployed on the first lap of the race. And this is really interesting now. Do you essentially turn this race into a normal one-stop race? Go hard to the end. It's definitely an option, I would say, for... I mean, surely the guys with the damage do that. But does anybody else? Bobolinho's gonna do it. Mihai staying out. Gabri's in. Papdog in. Flavor's in.
I love this.
Oh, they're all in. They're all in. But then Mihai has to two-stop. Yusuf's gonna take that position. That is what Mihai needs. He now needs Yusuf to be an absolute roadblock.
Yes, but I love the fact that everyone did knockbox. Oh, it's perfect.
What do you mean? There's only 4 cars stayed out. 5 cars.
But those 5 cars can make chaos happen here.
Yeah, I mean, they're gonna make chaos.
I love it.
But... yeah, so essentially, everyone from Bobolinho downwards now is in a one-stop strategy. And the top 5 had to make 2 stops.
But
So-
if Mihai is fast enough, and he can gap these 4 others, and Borbardino can overtake them, Mihai is gonna win.
Yeah, I think this can't work for any of them, bar Mihai, and for Mihai this can only work if the others are both very slow, but also somehow able to defend.
I mean, this...
I definitely
this
think the
race
better call was to go in there, but if, as a driver I wouldn't have wanted to be in the position to make that call, because if you're the only one who pits, it's even worse, I think, than not pitting in that scenario.
Mihai had 2 options. Either he follows, or he stays out and gambles. Because if we saw lap 1 safety car, and I saw at least 9 wings flying off these cars, or end plates, there is a very high possibility that there will be a new safety car in no time. And again, that will benefit Mihai, because if everyone else boxes the second time and they go long, it will be Mihai's once again, because he can just push without caring about the tire wear, as the others, they have to manage the tires a bit.
I did want to mention, there is technically the option of pitting again under the safety and go to the end. That would be one hell of a management stint, but it's technically possible. No one has gone for it. I think it would be an awful strategy, but the option is there, you know. I just wanted to say it. So safety car should be in at the end of this lap, and then Mihai can, hold the restart. And exactly what we talked about earlier, he has to hope that Yusuf, Bazooka, Ossi, and Hella High create a massive roadblock for everybody else behind him. And Bobolinho, Gabri, Flavors, Papdog, Sean, and so on. Yeah, I mean, essentially, Hella High has got the entire field right behind him, desperate to overtake, but the tire advantage is non-existent. They did half a lap of racing on those tires, so they have to do it on pure pace, and that's just not going to happen all that easily. So this would be very interesting to see if it's possible for those guys to make up any spots, or if Mihai has pulled an absolute blinder here. I mean, he essentially has to drive out about, what's the pit stop loss, like 19 seconds to Bobolinho now. So he's going to need to be about a second lap faster, if not more than that, in the cars behind him. We'll see if he can pull that one off. Around the final corner he goes, he's restarting the race, and he has caught Yusuf napping quite a bit. A good restart by Mihai. But
the good part
crucially,
for Mihai is that Yusuf and Hella High are both on hard tires.
exactly, that'll be going quite long. I think Bobolinho's ordering for the move on Hella High up the hill, but Hella High has got that one covered.
Yeah, exactly, this is what I mean. If Mihai can escape, and Burburn, I still don't know how to say this, because it feels so unnatural to me, but Aston Martin in P6, if he gets held up here, Mihai can create that gap to box himself and come ahead of Borbardino
Yeah, don't worry at all about names. I called Cucho for like, I think 2.5 years until I
Well,
finally was corrected on the pronunciation.
well, I'm gonna say sorry to everyone whose name I'm gonna butcher today. I don't mean it. It's the Finnish accent
Oh,
that makes it.
Bombardino into the back, surely not. Oh, he's crashed. That's big wing damage
Uh,
for Hella High. He's got the entire front wing missing. He pulls off the right hand side. That's very good sportsmanship, letting people through there. Bombardino with a very ambitious move. He has gotten away without damage there, but that is for sure going to go down to the stewards. And yeah, he went for a late dive into the back. Not a corner usually go for all takes, and we saw exactly why. And we saw it yesterday as well. Viral tried the same move on Bazooka, and they both ended up on the wall. Viral ended up, well, he didn't DNF from that incident, but it did lead to his DNF on the long term since it cost him his entire front wing. And now Bobbardino, well, he has made it one spot, but that's very likely going to be a post-race penalty. And he still has to get past another 3 cars. Mihai already 3 seconds clear of Yusuf. That's worked out really nicely for him.
yeah, and that's only in 2 laps. Now, the thing is that Mihai cannot give up. He has to keep on going as long as he can create that gap. He
A 3-second time penalty there, by the way, to Hella High for corner cutting, which I can only assume he left the pit lane, basically, by going over the white line on the exit, and then went back into the pit lane. The game saw him cutting turn 1, so that's rather unlucky. The problem for him is going over the white line on pit exit is also a 3-second penalty, so he can't even get that removed. Well, he can, but it will give him a 3-second penalty for going over the white line, because he's going to have to show the footage of that happening. So it ends up being exactly the same as it would have been either way. Mihai, 5 seconds clear already. This is working out really well for him. And Bombardino, oh, Bazooka's a bit deep up ahead of him. Kuko with the move on picks for P10 there. Continues his comeback from the field now on the back of his teammate. So, yeah, this has worked out really well for Kuko.
Yeah, but the fact is now, does Kuko want to play team games? Because Sean is still in the championship.
They have not been playing team games at all.
Okay.
They won the Constructors, well, they haven't won it, but they are miles ahead. Because Gabri has been without a teammate for a long time. Hella High only joined last race. So Gabri has been fighting on his own. And obviously when you have 2 drivers in the Drivers' Championship fight, and no team really able to match that, it's a fairly big lead. I think they have about 100 points lead. So they're not worried about Constructors at all. They are just fully going for it, and not... No team games in Ferrari basically needed.
Okay, well, but if there were, Kuko wouldn't overtake Sean just because Sean is so much ahead, so he would try to help his teammate to win the Drivers' Championship. But if there is no team games between the teammates, then, yep, I'm excited to see how this one plays out.
Gap in the lead, by the way, up to 7 seconds. Akuzin speeding the pit lane there, 10 seconds for him, as he's making his second pit stop of the race, so I presume he's picked up some damage somewhere, as that would be quite early for the second stop on pure strategy. And Ossie is really hounding Bazooka for 3rd place. He's actually looking, I think, more likely to overtake Bazooka than Bourdino is to overtake him. Ossie was very quick yesterday as well, really putting a lot of pressure on the leaders, but never able to make the move happen. And we'll see if he can do it this time around.
So if we think about the pit lost game time, so it's about 19 seconds. So Mihai could have, as we see from Borbardino, I'm still sorry about butchering your name completely, I know it, but if he can make the gap, so the pit lane stop is about 19 seconds, a bit over. But if Mihai can just continue driving like this, and he would have another set of mediums there, I can see this win to go Mihai, like...
It's working brilliantly. He just needs Yusuf to keep doing exactly what he's doing right now, which is to just drive.
Yes. Basically.
Yusuf is just driving his pace. He is a tad slower than the cars around him, but the cars around him are behind him, and it's Monaco, so they will stay behind him.
Yes, exactly.
And that's all that Mihai needs.
They launch it. And that's a risky one in Monaco.
The problem is also, I'm pretty sure like that top that group behind Yusuf, like I think Bazooka is faster than Yusuf, Ossi is faster than Bazooka, Bobodinho is faster than Ossi, but it's all by like a tiny bit, you know. If Bobodinho was behind Yusuf, it might be possible, but Bobodinho is behind Ossi, and Ossi I think is the toughest one to overtake in this train ahead of him. So that I think puts them all in a tough spot when they are just about not fast enough to pass the car ahead of them. But they could pass the car, 2 cars ahead of them maybe, or 3 cars. But
yes,
that isn't the one they have to pass now. They have to do one at a time. And Mihai is 10 seconds ahead already. He's basically halfway to getting the pit stop lead he needs. And yeah, all he has to do is just keep going. Until he has that pit stop lead and comes out in P1 again, and then he's basically won the race. Oh, Yusuf though with a big mistake at the final corner, but thankfully for him, Bazooka was far enough back that there's no risk of being overtaken. And now Bobodinho taps the back of Ossi into turn 1, kills his exit from that. I mean, they've got everybody down to P13 in one big train behind Yusuf. This is looking exactly like the Alonso train in the last 2 Monaco Grand Prix.
yeah. I was just about to get that. This is like something that I have seen in the past.
The thing, Yusuf is completely killing his own teammates' race here, but Yusuf is a reserve driver, so there's no teammate allegiance there.
Yeah,
but Bobodinho must be absolutely fuming right now.
And if you think about it, what could Yusuf do to help?
Yeah, that's also the thing. I mean,
Bobodinho. There's nothing he can do, because he could let these 3 guys go. Yes, maybe they are faster, but what if Bazooka is all of a sudden more than Yusuf? Then Mihai will escape even more. There's always a risk.
Yeah, Bazooka doesn't look that racy against Yusuf right now. Dylan with a freaking time penalty. Bazooka into the pit lane now, going for the undercut on Yusuf. Releases Ossi and Bobodinho. And they can now go after Yusuf himself. And if we have a look at the gap to leader, I think Mihai right now would come out between Viral and Pinky. So just behind this big train that's come up, it's built up behind Yusuf in 2nd place. So he just needs to keep going for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 more laps. However long he needs, basically.
As long as his tires are alive and he can keep up with this pace, he should go.
Yeah, I would rather run these tires to like 60-70%, you know, and obviously not into puncture range, don't go that far, but the worst possible thing you can do is pit into this train.
Yeah, like right now, if he would box, he would be comfortably in P11, but that would also mean that the whole train of the cars is very slow and he would lose extra time again. As he is right now, he's just gapping everyone in the field.
Yeah, I'm sure he could drive faster if he had the fresh tires, and I think if the other cars weren't in this race, he would pit, you know, for the fastest race time. But other cars are in this race, and they're going to be in his way. And he's racing for the race win now. He needs to basically just keep that P1 out on track, keep track position, and the only way to do that is to keep going until he has the gap of about 20 seconds to Yusuf in 2nd place. And Yusuf, of course, will be going longer than Mihai does, so Mihai does need to build that 20-second lead to Yusuf. Otherwise, he'll be in the exact same spot that Bobodinho is in now, where he's stuck behind Yusuf and can't use the pace of his fresh tires.
Yeah, I mean, right now this this train from P2 to P11 is very slow compared to Mihai. There's all for play here.
What? Why? You big idiot! Why is he in the pits?
No, Mihai!
You're throwing!
What? He just threw the freest race of his lifetime.
He's gonna come out literally bang in the middle of that train. Look at that.
Yeah, this... No. Mihai ruined his own race. Oh.
stay
no,
out
and
like
he's
3 laps more. I mean, maybe his tire wear was that bad. He is known to struggle with tire wear quite a bit. But that's... If your tire wasn't about to blow up, that's the worst strategy call of your life.
that's. I mean,
Oh. Okay.
oh,
We're going for the
Mihai
move in the
making good-
hairpin. And yeah, that's exactly how I thought that would go. And he's been jumped by pigs as well.
Yeah.
I could see him retired in the pit lane. That's the first retirement. And now Mihai with a huge tire advantage over everybody. But he's gonna have to make all these overtakes out on track. He won't have an undercut against these guys. In fact, they will undercut him. So he's gonna, after the second stop for him, he's probably gonna be behind Maxi all the way down to 14th. So he's gonna have to pass all those cars on track if he wants to get back to the race winning position that he was in. Of course, he's gonna have a big tire advantage, but...
Now there's only 2 questions that I have left for Mihai. Is one, why did we box? And second of all, why did we box to Hards?
And he's got the back of pigs there. Hopefully no damage from Mihai. But I think he's now got to run up the hill at least re-overtake him around the outside. Yep, there we go. Mihai back up to 9th. Up behind. Sully is round! As a full core safety car again!
Yeah, and now Mihai is screwed. But
Sully with a crash out toward the hill, turns the car around. A big wing damage for him. Rejoins just ahead of Hallahan Phantom. And yeah, that would have been the golden ticket for Mihai to pit and come out in the lead.
Yes.
And now, all the guys who did one stop already will make their second stop and go to the end.
Yeah, but now it comes interesting again. Because everyone will box. That means that Borbardini
is
will
modded
lose positions because of double stack.
All of a sudden, Gabi's leading. Essentially, pit stop cleared. They are all gonna pit, yeah, because Ossi and Yusuf have got 0 stops so far. They're about to make their first. And then from Borbardini downwards, they're all about to make their second. Mihai might stay out and get... Mihai might just repeat.
Yeah, I was just about to
He's
say,
gonna do the same thing again. Just run it back.
Mihai,
and this time, don't pit until you have to... What?
Yusuf stays up.
Yeah. And Mihai is in?
Mihai!
Bro!
Okay,
I give up.
this did not play out the way that I was thinking, to be honest.
I give up, lads. I give up.
Okay, so Borbardini is basically P2 now. And Mihai has shot himself in the knee. Great. I expected... Okay, let's put it this way. I didn't expect much with the prep talk you gave me. But this is not what I was expecting. This is definitely something else.
I mean, give him some leeway. Monaco strategies are a bit tricky, you know, it's a thing you sort of have to get a feel for maybe. But this is embarrassing.
Yeah, but if you think about it, okay, you can't play into safety cars. Not especially in Monaco, when it's quite rare that there is a safety car.
That's our second one, mate.
Yes, exactly, but as I said, in my previous experience, these are the first safety cars I've seen since probably the 23rd game.
I mean, I'm not blaming them for the decisions they did outside the safety cars. Other than me, I pitting, unless he was literally about to puncture, that's the only excuse I will take. Where's Maxi in a lap later? But I am blaming them for the decisions taken during the safety car, because why would Yusuf stay out? Why would Mihai not stay out? Yeah, those two basically. Maxi in the pit lane, coming out now between Raul and Dylan.
Why did not Mihai stay out?
Yeah, I mean, he had the chance to do the same exact thing he did on the first, and this time would have been on hard, so he wouldn't have had the problem of running close to the puncture range later on. So he could have literally just kept going until he has the lead to Yusuf for sure, and that would have been his ticket to the win. Of course, Yusuf staying out sort of ruined that, but still he would have been P2, and he could have maybe overtaken Yusuf and done it that way. And now he's just 9th. And
like
that's it.
Mihai has shot himself in the foot. Like,
He's lost all the
there is no
advantage.
denying
Lost all the advantage he had from the pits we didn't do earlier. So every single driver has now done 2 stops, apart from Yusuf, who's done 0. So he's completely cooked. Ossie's done 1, and Bazooka's done 1.
I can see why Bazooka stayed out. I can understand why.
Yeah,
anyone else would have stayed out.
Ossie did what I said Mihai should do. If Ossie can overtake Yusuf now, he has got. He's crashed. He's crashed in the straight. He's crashed in the straight line on a safety car.
What? I'm so sorry, I shouldn't be laughing.
No laugh, it
What?
deserves it. How has he done that?
How do you crash under safety car?
In a straight line! Not even like a traction zone, just. What? Was he on his phone? Well, race has restarted, by the way. Yusuf still leading the way from Ossie, who was hounding him on 13 lap fresh tires, and he's going to send it up the inside into Mirabo. Aggressive dive, but he gets it done. And now Ossie into the lead of the race in exactly the spot. Yusuf sends it back up the inside, and they're both into the wall. That's reminiscent of the crash that Magnussen and Raikkonen had back in 2014. And there's a bit of a pile up there in the hairpin, and that is damage, I believe, for Flavors. Oh! It's so awkward. So slowest crash ever.
Okay, maybe I judged Mihai too early, but.
Oh, people, what are we doing?
What
Phantom
is going
has
on here?
gone around at the chicane, I believe. He's down to in 16th there. Mihai has now gotten past Yusuf, he's up into the top 5. And all of a sudden, the top 4 is going to read Paulinho, Gabri, Sean, Mihai. Because Bazooka still has a pit stop to do. And Bazooka's in now. So I think he picked up damage in the pile-up at the hairpin. That's why he's pitting now. Yusuf the same. Papdog is in. And all of a sudden, Paulinho and Gabri lead by 5 seconds over Sean, and then Mihai is up the back of Sean. Kuko running in 7th, so that's his championship hopes. Still alive, somewhat, but he needs something to happen this race to get back ahead of his teammate Sean. But there have been all the happenings already, so I'm sure there'll be more happenings.
I'm so glad that I came to watch this, because I needed this laugh.
You should watch Activision 3 stream, it's so worth it.
I might need to check it after this race.
Like, imagine this, but like, better. The last 10 laps are the best piece of league racing action you will see in your life.
I might need to check that. By the way, Mihai is missing left end plate, so
it's
that
obviously
should make
weight
it a bit
reduction,
more.
I don't know, that doesn't matter.
No, but it should make it a bit more interesting for him to drive, because he got back to P4. Missing that end plate will lead into understeering, and when it's understeering in Monaco, oh, you're fucked.
It will help us rear tire wear though.
There's no chance you can rotate the car into these corners fast enough.
Like I said, it will help us rear tire wear, so that's gonna help him make the end of the race.
But do you really care?
Yeah, you have to
about
see the bright side. I'm sure that was a big thinking point for him when he decided to smash his wing off.
Yeah, but my question is, does these 2 drivers care about their tire wear?
They don't. They drive like they don't, but then whenever they check the tire wear like 10 laps from the end, they realize, oh shit, I'm halfway to a puncture. They do suddenly care a lot. Yusuf is back in the pits for his second pit stop now, and yeah, he's gone from lead of the race on the restart to 50 seconds behind. So that's a strategy masterclass on a level I've never seen in my life before, and I really do applaud whatever he was trying to do.
He's gonna try to do 22 laps on medium.
Yeah, that as well. I can only assume he got damaged
that.
right after pitting. There is no way he would have pitted otherwise again. Out in front, Bobadinho's doing a great job. He's got 2.5 seconds of a lead to Gabri already. Pinky into a time penalty. Mihai back in the pits.
Yeah, he has the As I said, he has the left side end plate missing, so he's gonna go and fix that.
Was it that bad? That it's worth dropping to 14th?
I guess that depends
Yellow
on the
flag.
handling. But
Sully, again. Going
I
great for
was in
Williams
the
right now.
imagination that Sully was like up there fighting for the championship.
Well, he's a Division 2 champion. I believe, and I'm not sure if he's turning it back on, but he was doing line off. He was going no assist, trying to get himself racing in the lead division. I'm not sure if he's still doing that because he has dropped out of the lead to do commentary since the grid got actually kind of decent. But based on his performance, I think he's still doing no assist. That's why he's so much worse than what you remember him being.
I see. I mean, if Barbadinho is crashing into the walls, he's missing right-hand end plate. This could go very interesting between him and Gabri, because Gabri has no damage, at least visual one. So Gabri will catch Barbadinho in a no time, and that should make
don't
this
say that so
be one
confidently.
fight interesting.
I mean, yesterday I saw drivers with damage being faster than drivers without damage. It's not the... It's not like PSGL where they're over like 210s and having damage is like a race ender.
Okay.
I mean, because if you look at the gap right now, actually it's fairly stable.
Yeah, and actually Barbadinho is going away.
Yeah.
So, yeah, maybe that was my judgment call was bad, but also the fact is that Gabri should be catching him comfortably all the laps.
Yeah, that's where your like engineering brain is talking, where you think of drivers who are like all fairly close to I mean, Gabri and Bobardino are fairly close to each other overall, and even Gabri is better. Just looking at the standings, you know, it's kind of obvious Gabri is in the championship fight, Bobardino is not. But it's just a good track for Bobardino, he's having a good day, I don't know, it's there's more fluctuation when you go lower down in this. Well, it's not like these guys are terrible, but compared to the guys you engineer, of course, they are. I'm terrible compared to the guys you engineer.
I mean, yeah, let's say those F3 races, if I would see, like, this, let's say Gabriel was my driver, I would tell him to push even harder.
Yeah, if I saw Victor being gapped by someone with wing damage, I'm gonna slap him.
Yeah,
I don't care if it's Jan or Opmer.
If there is wing damage, the advantage with the full wing is so huge.
Especially at Monaco,
it should
yeah.
not be a brainer. Yeah, and it should be a no-brainer that why are you not catching? If Gabri is making mistakes or Bordini is just faster, then Gabri needs to get it together and start pushing this Haas into places that he has never experienced before. Because we need something out of this car right now, because there's no way that half wing is faster than full wing. No way.
Like I said, weight reduction.
Yeah, you did say that, but
I mean, wasn't it a thing, I think last game on Baku hot laps, you intentionally smash your wing off for better straight line speed?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what Bobardino is doing at Monaco.
Monaco straight line speed, hold on.
Yeah, it's very important, isn't it? I'm sure it's like, what, 20% full throttle?
Yeah, about. But if you're watching, the gap is coming down a bit. So
yeah,
maybe
it's about time.
Maybe we're encouraging. I want to think that Gabriel is maybe listening and he realizes that, okay, now Barbadinho has the damage, we can catch him. Let's go. Let's get this guy.
I mean, another thing for Gabriel to consider is he, right now, is tying for the championship lead with Sean, and our comeback is actually in the lead now. So he doesn't need to go 100% risky. He can get this P2 home and be very happy with that result. Kuko down in 6th, Sean in 3rd behind him as well. And yeah, that would be a good result for his championship. Of course, if he gets the win, all of a sudden he is, rather than being tied with Sean, 7 points ahead. But that's not something I would sort of go all or nothing, all in for, you know? I'm not gonna dive Bobardino from 3/10 back into Raskas for a 7-point lead rather than being tied.
But there's a good thing that...
Talking about dying, Hella High has crashed at Nurchkane. It's a virtual safety car deployed. And he is parked up in the barrier after the second part of it.
that is quite common spot to crash the car by.
Yeah, I
Normally,
can only presume he turned in too early. Flavors is in the pit lane again for the third time, I believe. Yeah, it's his third
maybe
stop.
there. And there is going wing change. So I'm assuming Dylan is gonna change the wing as well. Yes, there is right hand side damage, and I expect the same fate for Pinky. That there is wing damage, and he's repairing that wing.
Yeah, it's unlucky for Aussie actually. He just missed the pit lane. When the safety car came out, he was already past it. Otherwise, he could have done his second mandatory stop there and not dropped too far down the field. Flavors comes out just ahead of Mihai in P10. And there's Dylan coming out behind Bazooka in P13. Pinky will come out in 14th, ahead of Pub Dog.
Yeah.
And we're back on the green flags.
What's happening? Why have Capri lost 1.5 seconds? The Barbadinia under virtual safety car. How is that possible? How?
A very
Wow,
bad restart.
when? How?
Very, very bad restart.
He was in the tunnel when it restarted. Or just after the chicane. I don't know. This is also confusing to me. How is that even possible?
I think Sean was at 10 seconds for the restart, now he's at 7, so I can only presume Gabriel tried to jump the restart, you know? Like, get a good restart by going, like, getting a bit of delta buffer, then going. And I think he misjudged and had to slam on the brakes. Because that would be the only explanation I can think of why Sean would go from 7 to 10, back to 7 seconds behind him. And Gabriel then also lost time to Mourinho in doing that.
Yeah, I don't know what happened here, but I'm very curious to know what happened here, to be honest.
3-second time penalty. Dylan is now in the back of Bazooka with a bit of a tire advantage, so there could be a move happening here for P12. And he is alongside there, coming up the hill now out of turn 1. But he's turned the EIS off, doesn't want to risk going to that gap. And will wait for a better opportunity further down the line to get past Bazooka. And go chasing after the points at the end of this race. 15 laps to go now. So if he wants some points, he's gonna have to get a move on. Doesn't have that much time left to go.
There's one end plate missing, 2 end plate missing. Let's see. These cars have their end plates. Oh, that's beautiful sent by Flavors, by the way, into the chicane.
Oh, look at Mihai.
Absolutely perfection.
That was a really, really tight squeeze on his teammate. And Dylan now also with the similar move on Bazooka. Up into P12. 3-second time penalty now to Aussie for multiple fragment warnings. As he's got Kuko hounding him for P4 in this race.
This race is definitely something that I was not expecting for. So I'm kind of happy that I am taking part in this commentating. Just because I've witnessed so much that it just makes no sense to my brain.
Mihai! He's turned in way too early for the second part of when he's gotten so lucky there to only scrape off both sides of his front wing and not scrape off both his tires. But that is big wing damage and most likely another pit stop for him, and that will be him out of the points.
No, but he has the massive top speed now.
Ah yeah, of course. I forgot.
We've seen that the wing damage doesn't matter here apparently. So
I mean, he's even shaved off both sides for X. Oh, it really does seem to matter, does it? As a full car safety car again.
Safety car.
And slowly got a 10-second penalty for corner cutting as he was trying to avoid Mihai's stricken car. And that full car safety car once again turns the race upside down. Aussie is in, making a second mandatory pit stop. Now, do you pit for fresh tires or do you check track position? That is such an interesting call.
My engineer brains right now is saying Barbadinia box. He has the gap to P3. He can comfortably box and be still behind Gabriel.
See, my house brain is shouting Gabriel opposite Barbadinho.
Yes. No. Gabriel don't box here. No matter what Barbadinho does. Because Gabriel will lose the position and he could end up in P5 if they don't box. Gabriel has more to lose here. He doesn't want to be behind Sean. Because if
I'd
Gabriel
still
boxes,
pit if I'm Gabriel, I don't know.
No.
See, when we
would
disagree,
say-
I tend to work out better. Just saying.
Oh, you had one race. That was one race, really. And
Yeah.
the first time when you didn't listen to me, I was right.
Yeah, that was like 2 years ago. We moved.
It doesn't
You engineer me like
matter, I
once a
was
year,
right.
so.
Yeah,
But
but I
then
was
you're
still right
staying
last
out.
time.
So now if I'm Gabri, I'm pitting.
Gabri, stay
Gabri
out,
pit.
stay out,
Gabri
stay out.
pit.
No.
No!
Yes! Come on. Like, you have to think it in the eyes of that Gabri doesn't want to be behind Sean.
Oh, the
Because they
Ferraris
are
are also
fighting for
boring.
the championship.
Someone, please. Kuko. Oh, you're also
Nope.
woke. Maxi?
Nope.
Woke. Pigs. Surely pigs.
Now, these two I would understand. They have both
Oh,
wing
you're
damage,
all
but
so
no.
boring. Oh, well, Flavors and Aussie won't have fresh tires. Sully. Surely.
No.
Why?
Doesn't Sully have the 10 seconds? I think he's gonna ask for removal.
Yeah, that's a fair point
So
actually.
he doesn't wanna suffer the 10 seconds.
So
So
the-
he could get the 10 seconds removed and still get P9 possibly out of this.
The first cars on fresh tires are Flavors and Aussie. Flavors on a bit older mediums but no time penalty. Aussie on completely fresh mediums but with a time penalty in 8th and 9th. Yusuf is actually a lap down. And there we go, Gabri. That's very nice of him. Goes off the track limits so that Yusuf can pass him without an illegal overtake, and now if Mourinho does the same, Yusuf will be back on the lead lap. It's very nice sportsmanship.
Like
Actually, it's in the rules that they have to do it, but it's still nice sportsmanship.
if Yusuf was a nice person now,
Oh, and there we go, Mourinho as well. That's lovely to see.
but does he let Gabri by? No, he doesn't.
But why would Mourinho do that? And why the Sage car is going now? Oh, Yusuf got an illegal overtake on Mourinho, I think. What's going on?
I think he's trying to slow to let them go.
No,
That would be-
Go past the Sage car and go back on the lead lap. Don't be in anyone's way. That's the whole point of it. He gets back on the lead lap. That's good for him, and he's not in people's way. That's good for them. That's why we do it. Yes, go past it. Okay, he's
Can
scared.
he go past it?
He's scared, I think, to take it because. Yeah, there we go. Now he's past it, and that's exactly what what we want the process to be when it's lap cars and the safety cars.
Oh, you can actually. Oh no, the safety car is coming through. What is going on? What is Yusuf doing? He's inside the
You
safety
can
car.
unlap yourself. Yes, go.
He's inside the safety car.
Is he like confused,
I
or is he just
understand.
not able to drive fast under the safety car?
I understand that it's an Aston Martin safety car, but it doesn't mean you have to be one car. You know, it's okay.
I mean,
just
the
go.
game is clear. The game is allowing you. Go, go. You're supposed to go. But why is he? He keeps putting himself a lap down. I don't know why.
Okay, well, if I was Yusuf, I would be nice and box if he doesn't go around the safety car. Oh, there he goes again.
You know, now he's letting it go. What's he doing? Does he have a
Does he
delta
have
maybe when he gets past it?
Yeah,
Ah, he's
that's
in the
what-
pits.
Oh,
What?
okay, yeah.
Huh?
I think we are gonna see our fifth retirement this day.
No, I'm just confused what he's doing. They
Yeah,
let
me
him
too.
unlap himself. We have a rule in our rulebook that when there's lap cars in the safety car, you move off track so they can unlap themselves. And Gabriel and Boborino did that perfectly, so thank you to them. It's something that many drivers just don't know about because they don't read. And now Yusuf Yusuf has also done a nice thing. He actually made sure he comes out behind everybody and doesn't get in anyone's way. But he could have just gone. He would have been able to just drive up back on the bell. Well, maybe he wouldn't have caught the pack, but he would have been on the lead lap at least. Now he's a full lap down, and the letting him through off track at Monaco is also already quite difficult. But with two cars, it works. He's not going to get past 14 now, so that's him firmly a lap down.
Yeah, I mean, if they would pull this off, that would be amazing. But will they pull it off?
Especially when he
doubt
just
that.
threw, because they already had put him on the lead lap again, and then he just decided not to go. I don't know why he didn't go. If he was confused by what was going on, if he didn't know about that way to get unlapped in the safety car.
Or could it just
That's
be
the thing
that
I
the
first
game
saw
gave him
in.
Delta?
Maybe that's the thing, but the Delta is still fast in the safety car, I think. But I first saw that being done in the league, I think on F1 2021. That's the thing that's been in the game for a long time as a way to unlap yourself. And we added that rule, I think, some way through last season. And it's nice to see it working, but then again, it didn't work, so. But we're back on the way. Safety car's been called in. Bobanino's slowing the field down. He's going very late here. He's still not gone. Finally now. And he has caught Gabri a little bit off guard. Sean, too far back from Gabri either. No movement anywhere within the top 7 flavors on those fresh mediums. One to look out for. He's going to try and get past Phantom as soon as possible. Kuko quite close to his teammate Sean. But there's no movement anywhere throughout the field. Everybody's staying exactly where they were.
I would love a fake dive from Gabri right now. And just make Borbadinho think that I'm gonna dive you. You have to make room
Dylan with
for
the
me.
dive on Sully. Into Merber.
Oh my, there's contact between the championship rivals.
Oh,
And they are inside each other.
Okay, and Gabri is going to come out back ahead of Sean, so they all stay where they were in the end. Going back to Aussie, who is side by side now through Portier with Sully and maybe Dylan, as Dylan swoops around the outside through the middle of the corner. They're side by side through the tunnel. Aussie's going to get put on that little sinkhole on the apex of the corner that's killed his run. And now Aussie has crashed!
Oh, there's a crash again! Oh, no,
side by side through the direction. The house is not a safety car. He's parked in the apex of the corner.
Okay.
And Bobbardinho. And now Pop Dog has crashed as well. At the exit of Tabak. And we've lost 2 cars on this restart. Bazooka has got big damage as well. DS neighbor. How is that not a safety car? We already, well, maybe we've already had too many safety cars and there can't be any more. Bobbardinho has got a great restart here. I think Gabri and Sean tripping over each other has really allowed him to sort of solidify his lead. Yusuf is already back up, by the way, to passing the leaders. He's going through Kuka right now. So he's about to put himself back on the lead lap. Bazooka with a wing change coming out far behind the field. Flavors makes his first overtake and gets past Phantom on the exit of Mirabo. Interesting spot from overtake, and that was, I think, sound of Dylan going in the back of Sully. I heard a oomph. Of course, Dylan on the mediums as well, trying to make progress.
There is definitely interesting dives going on here.
Flavors on picks now, I think. Looks for the outside, but that's covered off. He goes into the back of him. And
yeah, you're not gonna make the move outside to that corner. You have to take the inside if you wanna overtake into the chicane. There's no other way.
That was just a bit clumsy, I feel like. Pix was sort of covering the middle, and that was Flavors' move already impossible. And I think he just outbraked himself. But there's no damage for either car, so they got lucky there. Now Flavors with DRS, quite close behind him, but the run to turn 1 will be too short, I think. Or will it? He sends it up the inside. If he gets that stopped, he does. Somewhat. Pix definitely went to the wall there. But Flavors is past. And Phantom having a look up the inside. That would have been absolute suicide. So he decides better of it and settles back in behind for P8.
To be honest, I wouldn't have been surprised.
No, Phantom is like one of the few drivers in here who like... In terms of the pace, he's like, I think, best of the rest. Like 5th fastest, maybe something like that. It's like, I've not got a set top 5, but you know what I mean. He's good, but not the fastest. But his racecraft is very good. He always starts last, basically, because he comes to the races barely in time and never qualifies, and always makes his way into like the top 5 somehow. But right now he's got like negative front wing. And that's a yellow flag for Yusuf.
Yusuf.
Oh,
yeah,
okay. He's letting people through again.
Gone to the runoff.
The 3 championship contenders now, all back to back to back in a DS train. Gabri leads Sean, leads Kuko. Bobbardinho has gapped them, so he's well on his way to winning the Monaco Grand Prix. Flavors on the back of Maxi now, looking for the move into 5th position. And maybe he can get after a podium spot still. Yusuf back in the pit lane again. And Dylan with a really bad accident out of turn 1. Thankfully for him, Pinky's far enough behind that he does not gonna be any chance of an overtake up the hill. Having a look at the penalties right now, of course, 10 seconds for Sully, 3 for Maxi, 6 each for Dylan and Pinky. As Dylan goes in the back of Sully, Sully almost rounds the Robo. He does catch it just about in time. Lucky that it's a fairly low speed corner there, otherwise that would have definitely been him around into the wall and out the points.
I have to point out right now that huge respect to Yusu. Lap down, or 1.5 laps down, and he's still continuing driving. Most of the drivers would have given up days ago. So huge respect that he is still going, even though there's nothing for him to gain basically anymore.
Yeah, I mean, it's still fairly possible to get some points out of this just by DNFs, you know, he needs 3 more. But Yusuf actually only got called in to race, I think, at 33 past, so after the supposed start time, because the seat he's in would have been for XL Lewis, but Lewis, without telling anyone, just didn't show up, along with Edwin. That's why we've got a 19 car grid rather than 20. And then, yeah, I told Yusuf we have a seat for you if you still want to race, and he turned up at the very last possible moment.
I mean, but that's respect, because with no practice, Monaco last minute call, oh, that's balls of steel. If I've ever heard one.
Yeah, I mean, it's not gone well at all, but he's in the race. It's gone better than for Papdok, Ossi, Mihai, Helahai, Varlo, Akasin.
And as you said, it only requires 3 more to DNF.
Yeah, exactly.
And
if the 3 championship leaders like crash into each other and all DNF, you know, all of a sudden he has points. And I'm sure that'll be the big story if the 3 championship leaders crash without that Yusuf Bantams from a lap down gets points.
The thing is that Hugo needs to get past Sean and Gabriel, like, no tomorrow. But Sean doesn't want to let Hugo go, because if Hugo doesn't catch Gabriel and get past him, he will just lose extra points again. Well, so, but as also you said, there is no team orders in Ferrari.
Well, that's Hugo's chance of a P2 in this race out the window. And if anything, he's going to have to look behind now at Flavors. If he gets past Maxi, he will almost certainly be within 3 seconds of Hugo at some point. But right now, Flavors has not really put much of a attack on Maxi. Been sort of waiting for it to happen. And so far, nothing doing. Pig's got a nice little train behind him as well. He's got Phantom, Sully, Dylan and Pinky all lined up behind him. Big damage on Phantom's car, of course. Damage on Sully's car as well. Damage on Dylan's car. Does anyone have a wing left? Pinky's got damage. This Pig's the only one here with a functioning wing. If I get a good camera angle of it.
Gabriel doesn't have wing damage, and I don't believe Sean has either.
Yeah, I'm looking at this train from 7 to 11 right now in terms of damage.
Yeah,
none of them have a wing. They are all driving with some amount of damage.
Yeah, that's been a long time ago already. Someone like Phantom Fox, I think it was, that who is missing the both end plates, has been driving like this for, I'll throw it out there, probably 15, 16 laps.
Absolutely peak. I mean, yeah, it must have been a while. It's been on a tire for a while. Flavors now up the hill on Maxi, but he's low on ERS. He would have had the run otherwise. Solely with another time penalty, up to 13 seconds now. And Flavors can't get past Maxi still.
Now is the fake send. Or send.
He faked even us, yeah.
Enough. Yeah, like
I clenched my butt cheeks.
If Flavors wants to make this move happen to Max, it has to be either fake send and make Max outbrake himself, or he just have to like outbrake Max into a braking zone. So something like the chicane. Just be close and outbrake Max into the corner. Get the inside, and Max can't do anything about it.
Well, right now, of course, Flavors is going to run out of tires at some point. The medium should be having, well, at least equal wear to the older hards by now. I would say at least. So his pace difference, if it's still there at all, is a lot less in terms of tire wear. Out in front, Garby is catching back to Bobbardino, but it won't be enough. There aren't enough laps to go. And Bombardino is well on his way to winning this Grand Prix. But the battles to look out for on track are Flavors against Maxi, and then that whole train in behind Pix. Coco still on the back of teammate Sean, but it's unlikely, I think, to see a move there, because even if they aren't playing team games, I mean, you still don't want to, completely senseless go for an aggressive move on your teammate at Monaco when you have a penalty. Coco can't possibly beat him anymore, so he's not gonna do something silly here. With nothing to gain from it.
I mean, Kuko is just gonna be P4. Maybe even P5 if Flavors, as you said, can or gets past Max. It's gonna be highly unlikely, I would say.
Only 2 laps to go. Even if he gets him now, he has to make up 2 seconds on Kuko then.
I think he can make that 2 seconds because Sean is going really slow. So that means Kuko is going really slow. But he needs to get past Max, right now.
Yeah, I don't think he's too desperate to do it anymore, because Maxi has a penalty. So he's got that P5, you know, and I don't think he sees his chance with P4 here. And even if he did, are you gonna go, absolutely all out dive bomb for that? Because that's, I think, the only way you can get Maxi now. Maxi seems to have that covered off quite nicely. Now, once again, he's faking. I mean, that was from 5/10 max, so if you go for that, you're basically banned. But it's nice at least to see the fake dive bomb being pulled out again.
If we think about this, Flavors is fighting for possibly P7 in the standings. Pop Dog is out. Pinky is... Where's Pinky? Pinky is out of the points. Bazooka is out of the points. And then it's Flavors. If he could get that P4, it would skyrocket it towards these guys. And then the
I have no idea those people are fighting for 7th in the standings. That's the first time I've heard of those.
And we could actually put it to P6 because Scherzburger is P6.
And he's not racing anymore.
Driving today.
Yeah, he's not racing. He had to quit. He's unavailable on Wednesdays now. He joined midway through the season, got into a championship fight with I think 2 straight wins, and then dipped again. And now Flavors is pushing Maxi up the hill, but he's lost momentum from going to the back of him, and that's going to cost him the chance in the overtake. Out in front, Gabri is almost in DRS with Bombardino, but we are on the last lap. So there won't be any DRS for him, and there won't be any opportunities for him. It is going to be Bombardino coming into the second half of this lap, and all he has to do is go around about 3.5 kilometers off this track. One more time, and he will see the flag for his race win here in Monaco. For Gabri, it's a very, very adamant and very respectable second place, and that's a very good result for his championship ambitions. He ties for the lead on points with Sean Muller. He takes the lead on countback, but today it's Bombardino's day. He is taking the race win here in Monaco at Principality. The crown jewel of Formula 1. He's done a completely faultless race, apart from that one little bit of wing damage he picked up at some point, but it is not enough to stop him. P1 for Bombardino, P2 for Gabri, P3 for Sean, and then P4 for Kuko from last in the grid, of course, with the qualifying ban. A very impressive comeback. Maxi 5th over the line, but with the time penalty drops behind Flavors. So 6th for Maxi, 5th for Flavors, Pix 7th, and then it's a crash to the line. That is Sully. How has he done that then? And he's going to drop out the points. It is Phantom in 8th. He reverses over the line, does Sully. Dylan in 9th. Pinky in 10th. Sully in 11th. And then Bazooka coming through the last corner through Leraskas now to bring the car home in P12. With Yusuf a lap down in P13. DNS for Papdog, Aussie Dry, Mihai, Helahai, Viral, and Akozin.
Yeah, I mean, if nothing else, the championship fight in the Div 2 will get more interesting after this, but also the fight for P4 between Phantom Fox and Borbadinho, and the fight for P6 between Flavors, Bazooka, Pop Dog, and Pinky. That could be definitely one to watch as well.
Yeah, like you said, the championship fight. Well, Kuko lost a bit of ground today. came in this race being 32 points behind. He's now 34 points behind. Sorry, 35 points behind. Not championship over, but I mean, especially with the considering he had a qualifying ban, that's I think a lot better than he would have been fearing. 3 races to go, 35 points to make up. Of course, a sprint race in Abu Dhabi as well, so a bit of an opportunity there for something interesting to happen and turn it around maybe for him. But he's going to need 3 very good races from here, and the main contenders definitely are Gabri and Sean, tied on points for the lead. But a very, very fun race, that. I really enjoyed that. Thank you very much for joining me. Unfortunately, I didn't get the results screen up on screen in time. It didn't load at all. But, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, ironically, the last 3 tracks are very well known to me. So I would definitely... I have something in mind for Brazil, but I'll update you on that when we get closer. But I would like, as these last 3 tracks, as I was going to say, that these are like tracks that I have a lot of good knowledge. Obviously, the level is a bit different, but I have a very good knowledge on these 3 tracks. So I'm thinking that I could be here for the remaining of the season at least. The Wednesday is actually the one day on the week that I have pretty much nothing. So I could definitely do those last 3 runs now. And as I said, we could add a surprise for the finale of this season for Division 2.
Well, you're going to have to tell me what the surprise is in a second when I turn on stream.
Oh, yes. Of course.
So yeah, I'm going to wrap up stream here. Thank you guys very, very much for watching. Once again, that was, yeah, like I said, an absolutely amazing race to watch. We've got one more Monaco Grand Prix on Saturday in Division 1, so I'm looking forward to that. This time I'll be swapping the commentary booth for the cockpit. So I'll see if I can... maybe you won't be shouting at my strategy at least. You'll probably shout at my driving, that would be quite awful. But I'll do my best.
I might need to watch this now.
Alright. Yeah, have a good night, everyone. See you next week for the Japanese Grand Prix. 3 rounds to go. The championship leader's tied on points. Coco only 35 points back, still with an outside shot. You don't want to miss this end to the season.